continuation of that scene that aboard the Flying Dutchman type vessel. So we're in the storeroom and I'm looking at the prosthetic leg hanging, which sounds really creepy, but it was not at all, just a matter of fact kind of thing. So the leg is hanging there. The foot part, it's all made out of wood. The foot looks exactly like a foot with rounded, the rounded heel and the ball of the foot and toes, and you can, oh, wow, that's cool. And as we're looking at it, she gives a nod and the leg lifts itself off the support area where it was and just drifts over to her and sort of sits like it's supported and it's just now with her. So we leave the storeroom and go up this set of tight stairs, and I'm holding on to the handrails going up the stairs, and the next room we go into is captain's quarters. Dark wood paneling and around the walls, and I see a man with dark short hair, sort of wavy dark short hair, and he's sitting with his back to me in this captain's chair at this desk. And they're standing inside the door. I'm like, what? Okay. So I say, knock, knock. I said, hello, Captain, how are you? And he stands and turns and he says, welcome. I'm glad you've come. And the leg then moves over to him. And I'm looking then as the leg is moving over towards him. He's only got one leg. And the prosthetic comes in close to him and merges with his form, and he flexes the leg. And I said, thank you. I said, is it okay if I give a full report of everything I've seen to our crew? And he said, yes, that's why we've come. Thank you. And I said, thank you very much for the tour. And that's when I woke up. So there was the amazement, the awareness that's coming in of other things and other entities and other dimensions and other lifetimes. Hold on to your seats, folks. It is going to get amazing. That's just one of the examples of the dreams that I have had. Started for me about 2 years ago, maybe no longer than that. It was before I retired. Of a dream where I was standing in a graveyard, and again, nothing creepy. But people approached me from the graveyard when I had asked, I come to in the dream and I'm in a graveyard and it's dark. And I'm standing there and saying, what do you want me to do? There's got to be more to it than this. What can I do to assist whatever's going on? What can I do to help? And then people start approaching me out of these graves. And again, people just like you'd see walking down the street. And they're queued up. And the first fella in the lineup, as he approached me, he said, he's moving his hands in front of him, and he said, I need you to explain to people how important touch is. Now, and when he's talking to me, it's not sound coming out of his mouth. He's talking to me with his mind. Okay, I'm hearing the exact same type thing that you're hearing now as I'm talking to you. But the sound now is not coming out of well, for you, it's coming out of the little box you're listening to, whatever that is, your phone, your laptop, computer, or whatever. So it's a telepathy type thing. And the motion he's making with his hands is this rubbing motion. And he says, touch is so important. People have forgot. He says, when my wife and I were alive, I used to rub her feet. And that makes such a difference. That is... the words are completely inadequate. He says, you need to let people know how important touch is. Like, oh, I can do that. Like, yes, I can do that. I can help you. I can do that. And so he nods. And the next person in line behind him is this little girl, and she's maybe 8 or 9 years old with a dress and long blonde hair. And she's putting her hand up like she says, in other words, hurry up, I have something to say. Behind her is an old lady in a nightgown, and as she approaches me, I start to be pulled backwards out of the dream. I'm waking up like, I'm not done yet. I am not finished. And it doesn't matter. I'm being snapped back into the reality. And I said to her, I'll be back. I will be back. So that dream happened that was before I retired. And so I haven't gotten back to that yet, where I can find out what the crowd that have passed need to share or would like to share if they can with everybody. But I've been doing everything else that I can to try and assist. And what I took away from that dream was I went to the crowd at work and I said, you know, this happened. And I said, if you had to go tomorrow, is there something that you would like to share with people? Something that's really important that you'd like to, you know, leave before you pass on? And so maybe it's, I don't know what, I don't know how important it is, because we've only got so much access here with the capacity that we have in this reality. But I know that the veil is thinning, and it's thinning quickly. And there are people that are going to be, we're told, in huge amounts of shock. So whatever we can do to hold the light for everybody and to hold our hand and let them know that the divine plan is in place, even with all the madness and foolishness that's going on now with the COVID nonsense. It's just a smokescreen, and please don't panic. Everything is fine. The light has won this game that we're playing and that we're in. And there are people around to help. So all we have to do is breathe and remember we're part of everything else and take the higher road. It's as simple as that, folks. Okay, end of rant for today, if that was a rant. And I wish you all love and peace and blessings. And if you need anything, there's many ways to get a hold of me. And look around. We are of the light. We are here for everybody else. We're here for support for everybody else. Hang tight. Everything's fine.